Let's get the numbers straight. HIV infections doubled from 2011 to 2015 among Filipino adolescents. Male adolescents who had sex with males, and with both males and females, were the leading causes of transmission. Male, transgender, and female sex workers, and people who inject drugs put themselves at risk of HIV/AIDS during their adolescent years. Around 10% of men who have sex with men started having sex at the age of 12. On average, young people start having sex at 16, anal sex at 17, condoms at 18, and their first HIV test at 22. Between 12 and 22, so many things can go wrong because so many things go wrong before they reach 12. We witnessed so many things go wrong in 2015. HIV/AIDS became an epidemic in the country. In 2019, 53 children and teenagers tested positive for HIV after sexual contact. In 2015, I realized any one of my students, given the lack of awareness on HIV/AIDS in the country, could turn out HIV positive. When I was writing a manual of procedures for HIV testing, I found that some persons prefer not to be seen to get tested. They want to be invisible. They were shamed, stigmatized, and socially isolated. To survive, they need to be invisible. I also found that while others wanted to be invisible, there were artists who used digital media, who came front and center where everyone else wanted to disappear anywhere near HIV/AIDS. They became the voice and the face of shadows that we call people living with HIV or PLHIV. They became proxies not only of stigmatized PLHIV, but also of parents, pastors, teachers, and leaders who should educate their children about HIV/AIDS, but did not. In 2017, the NRCP helped me travel to 5 key cities in the country where HIV infections were highest, to interview 70 artists who use digital media, to produce art to help bring down the number of infections. I wanted to know what made these artists the proxies nobody wanted to be. The project revealed that these artists were of 3 types. Core advocates who were PLHIV and used art as HIV/AIDS advocates. Mediating advocates who knew PLHIV personally and spoke on their behalf through digitized art. And peripheral advocates who were open to create works with both of them to make a difference. They were driven by 4 key ideas. First, they knew deeply the complexity of human beings. Second, they valued connectedness to people, organizations, disciplines, and all kinds of ideas. Third, they saw the importance of a united call to change cultures, values, roles, processes, beliefs, communication, and policies. Fourth, they were also aware of the challenge of the science of HIV/AIDS, that it requires creative transformation so that information becomes more appropriate to different kinds of audiences. All of them were collaborators. They created art with the help of different government units, academic institutions, artist groups, and advocacy organizations. These artists personify our interconnectedness. The research revealed that we need people who are creative, collaborative, compassionate, and community-oriented. We need an education that develops people who are defined by their caring more than their careers. 2 years after I completed the research, I saw that my students were willing to support the PLHIV community despite the stigma, to courageously talk about the issue in a Catholic radio station and generate knowledge materials for the most vulnerable but unattended sector, the children. I saw my own university embracing the advocacy and taking pride in providing stigmatized COVID-19 frontliners a home away from home. Because of this research, we own the responsibility and are ready to face future epidemics. In 2 years, we did 4 research projects that dealt with HIV/AIDS, and we are just starting. We are creating the Center for Stigma Reduction in St. Paul University, Manila. We are creating an instrument that will measure stigma attached to chronic health conditions. Envision a country with a courageous and caring education where no one wants to be invisible. Envision a socially creative education. Our kids deserve it. We can create it. All 150 million of us. Let's get the numbers straight.